Hey everyone, it is Aubrey, your friendly neighborhood recovering perfectionist, queen of distraction, and today we are talking about Marie Kondo, 5-minute timers, and probably something else. I just haven't gotten there yet in my brain. First, yesterday. Yesterday was just hectic. We had friends over, Jackson had friends over, Josh and I are still working in the laundry room, so we were doing that. It was a big laundry day, and the house is just wackadoo after the weekend. Josh also made some really good shrimp and crab rangoons last night that kind of put the kitchen in some disarray that's out of the norm. So as Josh and I were in passing at the end of the night, he said, "Don't worry about the kitchen. It's my favorite thing to worry about the kitchen. That's what I do at the end of the day. I worry about the kitchen." So after I put Jackson to bed and I come out, I look at the kitchen like, first of all, worried about the kitchen. I really want to follow his advice. I don't think I had taken a shower all weekend. I needed to wash my hair, but part of me was like, no, neglect your personal hygiene and take care of the kitchen. But I didn't let myself do it. I put myself first, partially because my bathtub doesn't have a view of the kitchen. Took a bath, washed my hair, and then came out to the kitchen. And as I started tidying, I looked at the Alexa. She still heard me. I noticed an article from E! News, and it was Marie Kondo has kind of given up on keeping her home tidy. And that just spoke to me, because not that I've given up on keeping the house tidy, but I'm trying to find a balance of when do I choose myself over how my home looks. So naturally I listened to the article, and basically summed up, Marie Kondo is at a point in her life where tidying up isn't necessarily a huge priority for her. And I feel like that is relatable and probably something that a lot of people need to hear. I really feel like so often on YouTube and Instagram, it's always, what can you do to keep your home clean? What can you do here? What can you do there to, make your house look beautiful and presentable and live with less and this, that, and the other, when not really many people are talking about stepping back, taking care of yourself first, and just being okay with letting your house be a little messy sometimes. I'm looking at my kitchen right now. That's what I'm getting distracted by, the fact that my kitchen is a mess. So last night I didn't finish cleaning the kitchen to the extent that I normally would. I really like coming out and having a fresh start at the beginning of the day, but it just wasn't one of those days, and I was okay with it. Still kind of stressed out by the fact that it wasn't necessarily to my standards, I suppose. But seeing that article, seeing that someone like Marie Kondo, of all people, is brave enough and open enough to step back and be able to say and really put into practice that my mental health is a priority, my children are a priority, my home can go on the back burner. And I think for everybody, we all kind of have that point of like, okay, my house is at a state where I don't like being in my home, and you have to do something about it. But being able to let go of the little things, I think, is so, so important. So last night, instead of staying up late, I went to bed at my bedtime, which I try and make myself do, but there was a huge part of me that just wanted to stay up and clean the kitchen. But after seeing that, like, Marie Kondo says it's okay, I felt like it was okay. But again, it just goes to show like how influenced we can be by the news, social media, in positive and negative ways. And in this case, it was a positive way, but Marie Kondo is actually one of the people that I really, really looked up to in the tidying and minimalism world when I was first starting this journey back in 2015, when I stumbled upon her book at Target, and I read half of it. I'm a very visual person, so I didn't actually start implementing the tidying up practice until about 2018. I think that's when the series came out. And I was actually able to visualize and see people's experiences. And it's really such a beautiful thing to see people's homes transform into a functional state for them. But we live in our houses, and it's not like that forever. And that's something that we have to be okay with, because the beautiful picture that we see of somebody's spick and span kitchen or living room on Instagram, or videos that we see of people's perfectly staged homes on YouTube, it's not reality. And at the end of the day, they have to clean up their kitchens just like we do, and they choose what they allow the public to see. And I really just kind of want to be transparent in what I put out there on my channel, because I think while I try very hard not to compare myself to other people, and I've gotten very good at catching myself before I spiral too deep, it can be a challenge to just avoid playing the comparison game and like, oh, I wish my house was as clean as theirs, or oh, I wish I was as organized as them. Which brings me to today. Today I'm trying something. It's a different version of what I already do. Apparently I'm not the only one who does this, because Natalie Bennett, who is lovely, I highly recommend checking out her channel. She just did a video about how she utilizes a 5-minute timer, and that's something that I've been doing for a while now, and I just absolutely love it. And part of me didn't want to make this video because she already did it, but I guess everybody has their own take. And like I said, I thought I was the only one who does it, so it was kind of refreshing to see that somebody else benefits from something so simple as setting a 5-minute timer. Alec woke up from his nap. I have to address him before I can get my brain doing brain things again. Back to 5-minute timers. So I don't know exactly when or where it started. I mean, I can guarantee you it started in my house. What you doing? Get out of there, young man. That's not a toy. Here. Let me help you get those out. I know you like the egg cartons, and really you shouldn't burn those because you do have a really jolly good time with them, don't you? Okay, where was I? What the flip was I talking about? Oh yeah. So I just know at some point in my life, I was extremely overwhelmed with a task, and the most logical thing to do was just set a 5-minute timer and do as much as you can. So I did that. Gosh, I just wish that I could remember like what the circumstance was. I just remember being extremely overwhelmed by whatever was on my plate at the time. And lo and behold, I had 5 minutes that just got the ball rolling, and like I had momentum to keep going. And I did that last night in the kitchen when I was having a really hard time getting started. It's like when my life and the things around me start to just kind of like loom over me. Is that the right word? Loom? Alexa, what's the definition of loom? Alexa, never mind. I'm pretty sure it's a word. I'm gonna look it up later. Okay, I know it is. Hi, you wanna come up? When things start to really weigh down on me and I just feel completely overwhelmed and trapped by everything that's going on around me, and I just don't know where to start, if I just give myself like, okay, you have 5 minutes to do absolutely whatever you can, it's so much easier to, maybe that's why I work so well under pressure. So today, instead of focusing on one room and setting my 5-minute timer, getting the ball rolling, the whole house really just needs a little bit of love. So I'm gonna set a 5-minute timer in each room, and honestly, I already did it, but I tell you, the results is good. All right, here are some fast moving cleaning videos of me. Get your hand out of my water. What are you doing? All right, baby. Are you ready? Are you gonna get in there and get cozy? Alright. Alec, look at how much we got done in just 5 minutes. Go us. Now, do you want to play in here for a little bit? Mama's gonna do a little bit of tidying in your closet. Oh, I was gonna give you a fork. I'm sorry. Gosh, Mom's just got you over here eating with your hands like a baby. Here, you wanna use a fork? There you go. Sorry about that. time's up. Okay, I mean, it looks a lot better. I'm gonna finish dealing with this stack, you're gonna finish eating, and then there's still a lot that I need to do in here. That, I feel like, is a decent chunk of work for 5 minutes. I'm gonna set another 5-minute timer just because I have the motivation right now. I'd really like to spray that down and rinse out the bubbles that are somehow still there from my son's shower last night. I'm assuming he used half the bottle of body wash. Alright, so I'm just wiping down the toilet now. My alarm is going off, so I'm going to call that good after I'm done just wiping this stuff off. I never set a timer. So first I started with what I could do easily with Alec. Obviously his room was a great place to start. Then it was time for him to have something to eat, and the kitchen was the next most logical option. He played in the area, dining room was next, living room. He went down for his nap, and at that point I wanted to give him a chance to fall asleep. So I worked at the other end of the house, tackling bathrooms and the laundry room, which I don't like to have him in there because there's the litter box. And then after I got those two things done, I hit my bedroom and then went and tackled Jackson's bathroom, which there were only a couple rooms that I did give myself the option to work a little bit longer. I really wanted to stick to that 5-minute window and see how much I got done. I could have done more in the kitchen, but quite honestly, I was mentally done. I'm still feeling very overwhelmed by it, and I was okay to just like let myself work on something else that I felt more interested in. Both of the bathrooms, I ended up giving myself a little extra time in just so I could do the things that I hate to do and don't want to have to do later while I was in there. So like there's some big hurdles that I'm willing to cross, but others I'm like, I'll deal with you later. I didn't do anything in Jackson's bedroom because I haven't talked to him about filming in his room yet, and I want to make sure that he's okay with it. I'll do things in his room like change his sheets and whatnot. But at this point in his life, I feel like I need to step back from managing his toys so he has a better idea of what he has to deal with, because he doesn't want to get rid of things, which I'm fine with. If he wants to keep the toys, I don't want to force him to get rid of them, but I need him to understand that it is work and it's not necessarily always fun to be in charge of something. So I'm just stepping back from his room and I'm going to let him start being in charge of that. And for the most part, he's, sometimes it's rough. Sometimes he's fine. If he has a goal to work towards as far as cleaning his room goes, like he will accomplish it. But if it's just like a willy-nilly day and I'm like, hey, will you spend 5 minutes tidying in your room? It's quite possibly the worst day of his life. To be 7 again. So thank you for stopping by. Set yourself a 5-minute timer. In the comments, let me know if you do that as well. I just think it's so wonderful. Right, Alec? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look at you putting the pom-poms in the egg carton. And then if you're feeling extra kind, like and subscribe. That's always cool. So the moral of the story is be kind to yourself. Let things slide when you feel like you need to let them slide. And by golly, take the bath before you clean the kitchen. I highly recommend it.